Today, the federal government announced a 2-year cap on the number of international students that are going to be admitted to Canada. This comes as we're seeing increasing narratives about the impact of immigration and international students on the housing market. And that's how the announcement is being framed in the media. We've been hearing this immigration narrative a lot lately when it comes to the housing crisis. But you know what we're talking a lot less about that we should be talking about? The investors that are buying 1 in 5 houses in Canada, and who have been found to be driving up housing prices as a result, because they're treating home ownership as something to profit from rather than a human right. So let's break this down. I've spoken to housing experts about this issue over the years, and they've made it very clear that the reason we can't afford homes is because we don't have enough of them. And things like cost of materials, municipal red tape, zoning rules, labor shortages, those are all things contributing to this problem. Lots, but not all of the issues on the supply side will take time to fix. So maybe there's some immediate relief on the demand side. That's when we're seeing a lot of ire directed at immigrants. Though not everyone agrees this is fair. And while we spend all this time demonizing immigrants, that's time we're not spending talking about the fact that when we build that supply we desperately need, a huge chunk of it is scooped up by investors, so they can profit from them, not live in them, driving up the cost of rent to extract as much profit as possible. Like, these guys are scooping up 44% of new supply in Vancouver, 1 in 3 new homes in Ontario, and these guys' entire goal is to turn these homes into things they can profit from, unlike immigrants and students who are either living in a home they purchased or are renting from those who are jacking up the prices. So if we can't increase supply right away and we're turning around and blaming demand, maybe start with the 1 in 5 Canadians who are buying housing as an investment and are financializing our housing market, rather than starting by laying blame with immigrants who are actually living in their houses. And while yes, these investors are creating rental stock, it's not exactly charitable. This documentary explains why better than I ever could. The Liberals have promised to do something about the investors, but haven't really done much. Oh, and if you thought Poilievre was going to do better, some of his top donors are major real estate investors and developers. So yeah, that doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. Anyways, we can keep doing this comic, or we could talk a lot more about doing something about these investors. What do you think of all this?